Some of the oldest ruins are found here. This is the Yerington Mining District, but some of the oldest mill ruins are derived from the Bluestone Mine and the mill that you see up ahead that we're heading towards. Of course, a lot of the ruins are gone, but this is one of the oldest set of ruins in the Yerington Mining District. A lot of the mines were incorporated, or at least claimed, in 1890 in this valley. In the early 1900s, Captain J.R. Delamar owned the Bluestone Mining and Smelting Company, which encompassed the Bluestone Mine and a cluster of 20 claims that adjoined the Mason Valley Mine. In other words, the mine that you see over here adjoins with the Mason Valley Mine, which is on the opposite end of this dump pile or debris pile. Oh, there's a water tank, guys. We'll get that later. So this is probably the Bluestone, and it connects down on about a half mile to the Mason Valley mines. They were very deep mines. They probably ran for miles. So go ahead and we'll check out the mill ruins. As some of you know, I am a paranormal investigator. As much as I like to urban explore, I do like to investigate any areas for ghosts, paranormal, and it's all good fun. We're just doing history and research projects. You find a lot of nails, just learn about the site itself. And that's all that matters. What you got? Old metal bracket or piece of fencing. Yeah. And this is the foothills of the Sangatsky Mountain Range. The Copper Belt Railroad ran on the east and west sides. Then they had little spurs or trams that led up to the copper mines or mills where they could load the copper onto the trains after it was smelted. There was a smelter here, but Thompson Smelter was much larger, and the more output you could do or processing, the more money you could make. So if you could do 1,000, 2,000 tons a day at Thompson Smelter, why would you need a smelter that could only output 100 tons a day or a couple hundred tons? So the smelter wasn't a major site that was here. The tracks are no longer here, but this mill was, in 1960, was most profitable and is known for its magnetic concentrating plant and furnace. 100-ton capacity. They did about 500 tons in 1916. Output increased. Then the ore was shipped to the Mason Valley Smelter in Thompson. I believe the founder of Thompson Smelter also had some claims and stake in this location. Because this is all these mills were able to process the copper that these local boom towns were mining. Like this one, for example. Eventually, when World War II came along, there was no need for these mines. They would close, they would reopen. It says the mill closed after operating only 7 months here. The gauge spur from Mason to the mine was abandoned, the trams. In 1947, the Copper Belt Railroad closed. Now keep in mind, it was only really fully operable for 10 to 20 years. And the other 20 years it sat abandoned as they slowly removed the tracks. But Mason began 1800s. Actually, the town itself is much older than the mining here. And there's a lot of ruins. We'll photograph them. We'll put them on our site. I'll also take some pictures and lots of video. We want everyone to enjoy this place fully, so we're going to do the mines, the mill, any foundations or remnants of the town. This place is very monolithic in size. A lot of the buildings are gone. Some look like military outposts that you'd see in something like Metal Gear Solid for the PS4. Or like a Call of Duty game. This is a massive mill. And this mill, they said, only operated about 7 months. So extensively, this was all purchased. It was all purchased, and they really didn't make much use of it. But let's see what kind of ruins we can find up here. We'll eventually we'll start from the top, we'll work our way down, and then we'll head off to the mine. But we'll see what we can find around the mill ruins. A lot of vandalism. This place was not hard to find, and no, it was not a four-wheel drive road. I'm telling you, it wasn't. There are some roads that are bad, but this road we took in, the main road to go into town, easy peasy. This was a smelter, guys. The 500-ton smelter. Look, see up in the roof? Most smelters had, like the other place we went there in Dayton, same thing. Well, it could have been connected, but a lot of the smelters had missing or hubs in the roof. It's very extensive. You come out, and there's so much more to explore. We're blessed to have to be able to come across a place like this. And it's good to see the boys be boys. Even if it's metal detecting, target practice, and I'm glad they're looking around and exploring this place. There's nothing wrong with that. Kids these days are stuck on their computers. I'm just being a dad and giving them a taste of what exploring is like at the same time of being able to enjoy some time with me and what a place like this has to offer and explore. Exploring is part of a boy's childhood. And it's a little cloudy. We got some clouds and fog coming in, so we got 2 ghost towns today. We got Mason and the Bluestone Mill we're conquering, and the 2 mines, Mason Valley Mine, Bluestone Mine, and then we have the ghost town of Rockland, which is south of here, up in the mountains. So might be hitting some snow today, but we definitely are going to be in the woods later on. It's an exciting trip, guys. Exciting trip. A lot of graffiti and vandalism. It's hard to say how long this place will last, but for now, as long as it's here, I'm going to enjoy it. Let's see some Assassin's Creed. Come on. Assassin's Creed, here we go. Does this look like a playground to you?
Yeah.
Well, boys will be boys. Careful. Okay. All right. Careful. I just turned.
My camera does that to it.
No. It's spiked on its own. I'm not even moving it. It keeps going up. It's almost up to, look, it just moved on its own. I didn't even, look, it's fluctuating. It's going up to 2, to 4, to...
Pull your camera away.
Look, it's going up. I'm moving my camera. It keeps going up. It's almost up to a 7 in the red zone. It's like, I don't know. But sometimes it goes off and there's no explanation. It could just be, my camera doesn't do it, but it could be something else in the area. There's power lines that come through along the road a couple miles from here. You never know. But this is only supposed to pick up anything within 15, 20 feet. It doesn't really pick up power lines past that. So if it goes off at a 7, it's like, where's the power source? There's no power source here. Now I'm facing this way, where it was going off, and towards Tammy. It's dead, dude. But when I held it still, it was spiking almost to red. Just spiking up and down. Could be ghostly. All kinds of men died at these sites. Falling down shafts, mining accidents. This is the middle of nowhere. Life was harsh. You didn't have amenities or OSHA or any safety prevention. Men did die. And their ghosts still haunt these ruins and these mill sites and mines, per se. So some EMF readings up at the mill. Let's go to the bottom. Well, I got to take pictures from here before I go to the bottom. I'll take some pictures down at the bottom, and then we'll head to the Mason Valley Mine. The mines are connected underground. I read about it. That's the Bluestone Mill mines? Or that's the Bluestone Mine? That's the Mason Valley Mine. They're connected. Where?
Down in front of you.
Straight? Ruins of the town? We can drive to those. We don't have to hike to them. If you want to hike, we could hike from here to here. That's more of the town. The town, here's the mill, right? The town sat right down here. On this side and the other side of the dump pile or hill. So basically this whole area was all residents. See how there's a building way out there? This was the whole town. And then eventually, when they stopped the mining, they started to divert their attention towards ranching in the valley down here. And now that's all this area does is ranching. The mining is gone. The mills are gone. But Mason moved from here to the valley at a lower elevation because the land was fertile. And plus you had Yerington if you needed supplies, or Yerington was a bustling little community. But yeah, this is more of the town below. That might be another mill. Or it could be foundations of the administration building for the mill or the mine. These mines were huge. This is all debris pile we're standing on. And this debris pile goes almost a half a mile by a few hundred feet wide. It's huge. And 100 feet almost tall. These mines go for miles. But I could still go in them, take a look if they're safe. You guys can come. And we could at least try to cover a little bit of mining sites here. You know what I'm saying? Because they're good mines out this way. They haven't blocked them off yet, thank God. Ludwig they blocked off because people were dying in the Ludwig mine. But this one still a lot of people explore because it's still open. Yeah, those foundations, I did not see those till now. The sun was in my eyes. Okay, let me go over here. See what there's a little hole, there's holes where they locked in. See if I get EMF. No EMF. It's down to 0. And everybody see me hold it still, and it kept spiking up and down, almost to a 7, which is very high for being in the middle of no man's land.
Dad, you should probably watch out.
They had multiple levels. I'm fine. And floors. The Bluestone Mill ruins are some of the finest in northwest Nevada. Most of them are gone. There's a lot of mills out near Dayton. There's at least 100 of them. Only 1 or 2 of the remnants really remain solid like this, like you're seeing now, including the Dayton Rock Point Mill. It's pretty extensive like this, but other than that, most of the mills are long gone. And today, these ruins serve more like a ancient temple. I mean, if you sit there and you zoom out to the desert, you're thinking, oh man, it feels like you're in Egypt or something from afar.
Sorry about that.
I did do an adjustment on my camera. So if some of the video's blurred when I zoomed in, I fixed that with some full-time focusing. Because I know I got a really killer zoom. However, there's a lot of settings and a lot of different ways I can film these movies. I could give it the 1980s effect if I want. But we'll continue to photograph and check out the area. I can't wait to go to Rockland. A lot of little miner cabins in the woods and mill ruins just like this, except higher up and more secluded. You're thinking, oh, this can't get more secluded than this. You're wrong. I can get a lot more secluded today. You know, you got town a few miles away. We're above the town. You can see it. Imagine trying to be 20 miles from town, because today we'll be 20 miles from the nearest town on a dirt road. So this is just to warm us up. My son set off in the distance. Those aren't ruins. They're sandstone. It's caused by rocks and millions of years of erosion. Not even that, 100,000 years of erosion could, with the winds whipping off the Sangetsky Range, could cause what appears to be ruins and walls. Like I said, it kind of looks like Egypt. And I did see photos, other people took sunset photos of some of the sandstone rocks out here. And I said to myself, wow, there's a lot of sandstone. And it's true. Sometimes you'll find gold and other minerals mixed in with the sandstone or found near it, surprisingly. So wherever you see certain minerals and rocks like granite or sandstone, especially quartz, you know there's going to be possibly gold, silver, even copper. you might find there's a lot of copper mines out here, and that's what we're going to go to today. We're going to enter into this mountain. There's 2 mines that connect, and we're going to do both mines today. We're not going to spend all day. They go for miles, but we will go in the mines. We will look around for a while. I think the mines are not, they're warmer, they're quieter. You can focus on paranormal investigating. You hear something human that's not you, sounding human, like a voice that says hi, and it's not you. You got a good chance of saying this area is haunted, that there is ghostly miners that haunt this location. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to check out what it looks like at the bottom of the mill now. And then I'll do a quick video about some more history at the bottom. There's not a lot of history. A lot of people don't know about this site. I did write some history down. I left it at home. I printed it, wrote it down, printed it. One sheet's gone. I don't know why, but I remembered most of it. I mean, all that you could really say about the Bluestone Mill is that it was a copper mill, and it started the spurt of a town in the 1800s, which is surrounded along the St. Gaspee Range. There are multiple towns, copper towns, that relied on their flour mill, the ranches, the mines, the smelter, many businesses, milling, copper milling, and of course the Copper Belt Railroad, which ran here till they ripped up the tracks in the 1940s. And all the railroad would do is chug around the mountains, load up the copper, and then they would ship it out or freight it out to the Transcontinental Railroad north of this region. 500-ton smelter and Thompson Smelter, which the smokestacks collapsed in a pile of bricks, produce 4 times the amount of this daily. So a lot of what was brought here when Thompson came to here and he put stake into this, he utilized both smelters, but a lot of the smelting was done elsewhere other than here because the smelter wasn't very large. And what you can really say is that these boom towns that you see here today, this is our 5th or 6th boom town. We've done Nordyke, Ludwig, Wilson Canyon, Hudson. We've been through Lobuska, which is totally today a ranching community, and not much remains of the old town. The old train station's been renovated, then it was transported to the Carson City train station. So the original Copper Belt Railroad depot, it's gone. But these towns had a depot, a tram, and everything else. So we'll take a picture here. Now you get to see the ruins in full view. There's a beautiful site. Look how large they are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 tiers to the very top. And if you look on top, there are some foundations. Last. I always want to save the uphill battle for last. And we'll see what we can find. If I continue around this debris pile, we'll be able to hit the Mason Valley mine, and then we can go into the Bluestone Mill mine. If they connect, we could go straight through the main tunnel and come out the other end. This is your founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society. That's nasty, dude. Look at all the junk. There's the tire wheel, the Jeep wheel. I know. No, dude. Now how are you going to get out?
What? You want to bet? So watch this.
Dude, there's a metal spike. You need to be careful. You might bang your hand on that metal bar.
Ready? No, move. That says ready? Oh. I got this.
Dude, he's hanging for dear life. You're hanging. Yeah, he can't get out. I thought you were parkour to go up walls, man. Now all of a sudden I'm finding out he can't go up walls.
I thought you were gonna like crawl up.
Look, it's an obstacle course. Oh, the younger brother's beating the older one. Do not try this at home. They're climbing the Coliseum and escaping the lions. They're still going up. Lost him. top. It's a little bit.
So now Dad tries parkour.
Pretty sure it'd be. Ladies and gentlemen, the other thing you got to remember is that even though the railroad went through each town, the railroads really didn't go up to the mines, except in Ludwig. But other towns had to have a tram system. Nordijk had a flour mill, so the flour could be loaded onto the railroad. And of course, a lot of the ranchers back in the Copper Belt Railroad days would use the line rather than the miners. Although there were 6 or 7 towns that smelted and mined copper that utilized the railroad, then there was spurs that went out to the Transcontinental Railroad up into the. They had a nice freight depot up in Fallon. You could go up to Minden, take the spur up to Minden, and go out to Bodie and Aurora. When we came up on our way down here, folks, I crossed 2 sets of railroad tracks, 3 actually I seen, in 3 different areas. So the railroad was prominent coming through this region. It wasn't desolate. You could travel in and out to each boomtown. This area didn't have a lot of men working in it. It was a big mill. But you probably only had 50 to 100 men, and a lot of them probably had tents or cabins below the mill. And every day, some men would work in the mines, others would work on the mill. You could extract the ore out of the mine, you could process it here at the concentration plant. It was big, and the ruins here are very extensive, but you got to really pay attention. You got to look around. There are buildings that looks like a vault off in the distance. It might be. But mainly what's left of the Bluestone Mills, what you have here is these ruins and the mines. You don't really have miner cabins or saloons or anything like that, like those ghost towns. But you have to understand that in all good beginnings of any town in this region, in Nevada, they all started off as a mining camp, grew into a bustling town. Some survived, some didn't, some transitioned to ranching. In this case, this mill shut down, ranching continued up in the valley, everyone was happy. But towns became busts. Copper Belt Railroad was removed. Nobody had a way getting back here, it was costly to export and import, and these towns died. This one had a 6,000-foot tram system, this mine and this mill, that ran out to the railroad, and then just a few miles to the north is Thompson Smelter. And then just on the other side of these mountains is the town of Ludwig, which had almost 10,000 people. And was, Ludwig dates back to the 1850s and 60s when it was first claimed and began having a small camp and grew into a city. It was called Ludwig City, or Morningstar City. This one didn't have too many names. They just called it the Bluestone Mill. Captain Delamar, I believe, was the first one to open up the ghost town of Delamar, and they called that the Widowmaker because of based on silicosis. Too much dust was being brought up from the mines, and the milling was stirring up dust, and the particles were getting in the miners' lungs, and they were dying. Therefore, the town had a bunch of widows, but Captain Delamar was responsible for making his first claim here and having the mill erected. So there's a lot of history, there's a lot of connections to the area. You have to look at that. This boomtown was connected to Ludwig over a couple miles away, and Thompson Smelter and Hudson and Wilson Canyon, all settlements along the St. Gatsby Mountain Range, all along the Copper Belt Railroad, which went for over 20 miles to these mountains. Very relevant site. The mill's closed, the mining camp moved on, and everybody kind of settled in the valley. And now today, these ruins in time reside here, lonely, abandoned, free for exploration, but in no way are connected to the town below. And that valley you see straight to the east. Well, didn't you?
Right?
Am I gonna have to show you how it's done, boy? Daddy, show you how to target practice a little.
Oh wait. Oh wait.
Watch it, Oz.
What is the magic? Right.
Don't you gotta crank it in the barrel and then shoot it off?
Oh.
Dude, that gun should be easy to pop it in, load it, and shoot it within like 3 seconds. You're being beat by the BB gun.
So I should probably take this one out.
Yeah.
Don't point that gun at me, dude. You might pull the trigger by accident, hit me in the gonads.
It's supposed to load them in the side, and then when you cock it, it puts one BB in there.
Oh, really?
It puts up one BB at a time. Yeah, Devin has the same gun.
That's what I thought. It had to be a better chamber for that. What's wrong, dude? All right.
Yeah.
So load them on the side.
All right, close it.
Okay.
So you don't load them from the chamber area.
You cock it.
Oh, I hear them now rattling.
Cock it forward.
Yeah, dude, come on. I don't want to lose my eye. I like my eyes right now the way they are on my face.
Just put the load right here. Go back.
I don't want to pop. I don't want to shoot my eye out, and I'm not even got the trigger. All right, Jared.
I got it.
Hold on. Smash that bottle, man.
Wait, what?
Did you cock it? You gotta keep cocking
You
it.
got to cock it.
You gotta keep
Cock the gun. Cock it. Cock it, I mean. Not. This is not plumbing, okay? This is not plumbing.
No, you're doing it wrong. You gotta go all the way through.
It sounded like 2 of them made it.
All right, sound like you ready? Okay.
Should work.
No.
Do you load? You gotta reload.
Oh my God. It's just a BB gun.
We're dead. We're all dead.
We're either dead or stupid.
Oh, wait. I think we got it. Alright. Wait, where's the bottle? What?
Didn't no, because when Jared, guess what? When Jared fired it in the house the other day, it was loud. It went boom. So it's not doing it. He needs to figure out if it's on safety or what the deal is.
Oh, it's on fire.
There's a little red thing on the side.
Yeah, maybe I'll switch it back.
Don't you gotta cock? Oz, you've used this before. Don't you gotta cock that
I
10?
have. I'm pretty sure you just keep cocking this.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, I didn't shoot it. Yeah, I did.
You have to pump it. You have to put the bullet in, cock it, and then pump it.
Want me to pump that for you?
Yeah.
All right, man. See you break that jar.
Let's go.
Oh! Did you just put a hole in it?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Man, you beat me to it. I should have aimed. If I didn't know you were gonna hit it, I'd have been like,
Dude, he hella scooted and we threw out the inside.
holy crapola. Look,
I'm gonna shoot it now.
went all the way through. Woo! Here, let's turn it this way, guys.
That's what Dad said.
My turn.
I'm loading it.
Right.
Pump it, man. At least 10, because 20, that's why yours broke the glass. You really power shot it. Okay? This looks fun. This looks fun. I'm into target practicing. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm wearing my lucky beard for this. I'm breaking the rest of that.
It's gonna hit my ass.
Well, then you pants and you get 5 hours game time.
5 hours?
No,
Yeah.
I get a week's worth.
A week's worth?
Alright, we
Here.
can do that.
Okay, you could film me. So I'll try to get in a little closer.
Alright.
Ready?
Wait. Let me get
See
to.
me both? You'll have to stand probably.
Yeah.
Gotta fix the beard. Fix my little ball. Gotta hit the ball in the center.
Hot.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Your scope's not off. I had it dead center and I still missed. Oh wait, I gotta caulk it, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it is. It's not making that weird sound.
No, it's not. Tip it up. And then you cock it.
It's cocked already. You mean pump?
Don't aim it at me.
Okay.
Santa Claus with the gun.
How many times? I did it more earlier. It's up to 20. Probably going up to 25.
That's 21.
All right.
Are you ready?
One more time. It went through it. Gotta find it.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
Yeah!
Damn! Nice.
Awesome.
Let me see. I got this one.
It works like a charm once you get used to it. That's okay because you're good with bows. I'm good with pistols. Oz is good with clawing your eyeballs out. Remember, you told me you'll claw someone's eyeballs out if you have to. Yeah. Who?
Maybe better than you. He shot on his first try.
Yeah, but I wasn't aiming. I was trying to get the bullet out.
Okay.
The second time I aimed, the BB went through the hole because there's a huge hole in the glass because that's where I couldn't see that well. And the second time I aimed it, I hit it and shattered it. There's a whole, if you look at the bottle straight ahead, there's like 3, 4. It's all hollow in the center, so you can't. I aimed for the top, the neck, and it just collapsed down because the bottom has too many holes and stuff, so the BB will go right through and won't hit it. Because the scope, if you put the scope on it and hold it still, that's where you hit. It's accurate because I hit the neck and it hit it. Because I wanted the shatter from the top down is what I did. Yeah!
Yeah!
There's nothing left of the bottle.
Shut the top. You want to?
Dude, there's a little piece of glass sticking out. That's it. Jesus.
Right there, look.
Is BB in there? Yep, there is. Alright, now I gotta pump it at least 25 times.
Tammy, please cock it. Cock it for me. Look at her cocking it. Woo!
That bottle.
She could hit that bottle. You just look at the scope. The problem is you could see it in the scope. Holding your arm steady enough in the wind is hard. And as soon as you hold it steady, you pull that trigger. Because if you take a breath, because I'll tell you what, if you don't, you will miss it. I hit it twice. My first bullet went right through the center.
Guess how
My
I
second
shot it? I
one
held
shot
my
the top.
breath, and after I
Got a storm coming, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to head to the Mason Valley and Bluestone Mines and get out of here and do our next ghost town before we end up in a snowstorm. Yeah, it was close.
You on mine, it's like the thing is steady going like
Up and
this.
down. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, God, stop. Just be still.
Once you get it still, shoot it.
Hold my breath, that didn't work.
As long as it don't hit me, right? That was loud. I bet you it's in there. Sorry. I'm gonna get a drink and a snack. It's getting windy, dude. Storm's coming in. Jesus, good thing we got here early. Well, then it's towards Reno, like diagonally. There's east. That's east. Kind of east, northeast. Yeah. The bebe's in there? Cool. All right, I'm gonna get myself a snack. Good job, guys. That's so fun. Storm's coming in. As you can see, look at the clouds. It's coming in off the pine nuts and the Sierra. It's actually the Sierra Nevadas, and it goes into the pine nuts and then hits the Sangatsky Range and continues to ripple throughout Nevada, so these blue skies will be filled later. The Mason Valley Mine tramway was 6,250 feet long. It was near Mason City and was placed with electric mining locomotives hauling ore in 6 to 12 car trains to the upper tramway terminal. And I guess they shipped them on the train and then it made its way to the valley that you see ahead. Just like any of the copper or anything that was mined or exported out of here, you had to use the train. But if you were mining, you used the 6,000-foot tramway. And I really don't know if the tram connected to there's a main mine entrance, which is the Bluestone Mill, and then you have the Mason mine over the hills. I know they connected, but I'm not sure if the tram connected to both mines and then went out to the railroad here in Mason. But this is a very relevant mill site. Even though it only stayed open for 8 months, it did change hands. In World War I, copper prices fell. Therefore, camps like these and mill sites, copper mines would close down. And then, of course, after the war, prices went up, countries sprang out of depression, and mines and mills like this would reopen. This one really never had a chance. 7 months is not a long time. And the reason is you had Thompson Smelter to the north. Therefore, it could produce 5 times the amount of what this mill could produce. It was much larger, too. But these were there was towns here. There was cabins, there was houses, shops, general stores. Like Thompson Smelter. I believe they had a swimming pool and a rec center and a sports bar and all those great things. Because these were regular towns back in the day. That offered its citizens and the miners as much as they could, because mining was dangerous and a hard way of life. So you made the best out of what you had. And they were always trying to attract people. You know, you had the church come in, because miners were very religious back in the day, and the saloons. And that attracted miners. They stuck around and they worked the mines. But this is the Bluestone Mill, and they call it Bluestone because that's the most common mineral found out here is copper and bluestone. Copper and bluestone. Bluestone is where you find the copper in. You also find it in, I've gone in mines where you find red to orange kind of cavern-lined walls with copper ore. I've seen that. I've also found it in quartz. And then, like I said, it kind of looks like it's a bluish type of stone. But the storm's coming. I gotta go. I don't have all my notes with me. Did the best I could. I think what counts is that we actually looked around, did the mines, did the mill, got some good photos for the site, and some videos. So if you want to check it out yourself, you could. All these videos that I post are places that you guys could check it out. That way you know the safety hazards. You can see me film. You can see where the shafts are. Good stuff. So we're going to get out of here. Peace out. I'll be back with more of this documentary of the Bluestone Mill in the ghost town, semi-ghost town of Mason.